Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is dieterborrell. If you're new to my channel, we're all about architecture. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about the things that you wish you would focus on when you were in architecture school. I know, I get it. There's a lot of you guys out there, they went into architecture school for design and creativeness. But the reality is, when you go out there in the real business world, they're going to want you to draft. They're going to want you to spend a lot of hours drawing details, understanding construction, materials, and techniques. A lot of you guys that are going to be going and taking the ARE exam are probably going to wonder, we're going to try to find out what you need to know to be able to pass the test. I know some of you guys, and if you didn't know, I was involved with the NCARB committee to prepare questions for the ARE, and I got to see many examples of test questions. And yeah, there's a lot of teaching materials out there, and which are actually pretty good. I think one of them was spectacles. They had a good grasp of how to go about teaching everybody how to prepare them for the ARE exam. If you aren't familiar with the ARE exam and this is your first time hearing about it, the ARE exam, it is going to be changing and tailoring more towards understanding and comprehension, which means decisions that have to be made during pre-design, design, construction documentation, and construction. I'm sure that office management, breaking down your proposal based on hours, etc., cost estimating, all that minutia when it comes to that. Yeah, they're gonna ask you questions about that. There's gonna be a spectrum of questions. They're gonna want to ask you guys, being familiar with the AIA contracts, both the owner architect agreement and the owner contractor agreement, and the general conditions. Actually, some forms too. So you guys prepare yourself. Use the study guide. They do help. But don't be afraid to join your AIA chapter, your local regional chapter. They usually have a lot of professionals that come in and help out people when they're taking the test, to give them some information. Scenarios are mostly your best sources. Listening to things that happen in the field, and the right way to handle it. Who do you go to? What documents do you use? What is the best approach at doing things? Who's the final decision maker when it comes to a lot of things happening? And what I mean by the things happening is you have certain powers as an architect, but your role during construction is as an observer. And then you observe and report, and inform people of if there's efficiencies that aren't meeting the design documents. Obviously, I don't know if you guys are aware that we prepared design intent documents, and the contractor is trying to execute the design intent documents. And if there's some level of unclarity, their job is to ask questions before they execute the work. A lot of the times we encounter that their guys end up doing the work, and then they ask to see if it was done right, which is the wrong way to do it. They should be asking questions and then executing it. Anyways, enough of that NCARB. I'm sure that I can go on and on and on about that kind of stuff, but for some of you guys, today I figure I kind of touch on a few things especially the stuff that you guys are going to need, the tools you're going to need, the real tools, once you get licensed. I call it the you ain't going to come to the big boys table till you're actually licensed. And I've seen that in multiple offices. I've worked in the West Coast and I've worked in the East Coast, and I will have to say that there's truth to the way you are seen as a professional with a degree on the West Coast. You're seen in a different set of eyes than in the East Coast. At East Coast, there's this hierarchy that is so, I call it the pyramid hierarchy, where there's somebody on top and you have to go from that person, that, you know, information gets trickled down to you and you're just executing the work. It seems to be very popular. You know, we talk a little bit about management styles in my podcast. If you guys haven't already heard, me and a buddy of mine from the office, we have a podcast. It's called the T Squared Dad's Brown Bag Podcast, and we talk about a bunch of different topics. Technology was the last one we talked about, software. Anyways, if you guys are real good organizers, and I'm talking about time management, allocation of resources. If you're not, try to get better at it, because it's gonna be harder on you once you become licensed to track everything. What I mean by everything is, not only are you gonna have to track information, you're gonna have to track preparing your specifications, which is all your products, preparing and organizing meeting minutes, logs, schedules, contracts, you know, submission dates. And we can kind of go into that in more detail in future YouTube videos. I'd like to kind of get you guys, at least show you a representation of what we encounter. My experience, most of my experience has been having worked in Department of Defense projects, and we were very systematic in the way we handle things. You know, we knew we had a contract, we knew we had a schedule, we knew we had deliveries, and we had a list of what needed to be delivered in each phase. You know, understand you guys' phase. You know, understand your schematic design, what you're responsible for, what you're responsible for programming, what you're responsible for design development. Know your basic services, know your ad services. And what I mean by ad services, I can talk to you guys a little bit more about it, as far as how here in Florida we use the DMS guide to help us with fees. And then it helps understand what ad services are included and what aren't. I think a lot of you guys I don't have a problem with you guys reaching out to me via comments or any which way you guys feel like doing that, because we can talk about it more extensively in detail. But I know a lot of the times we don't do cost estimating in-house. We do rough cost estimates, not material takeoffs, but mostly, and I know some firms will probably ask you to do that, which I think it's a waste of resource. You're better off hiring a cost estimator to run those calculations for you guys. It'll save you time and money. Always double check with other resources. You know, good resources are the general contractors you work with. You know, find out what the average rate is going for a square foot construction on a commercial building made out of steel. You know, call your vendors, call your manufacturers reps, your local reps. They're your greatest, you know, asset. You know, don't think that your engineers are a burden. They're there to help you. You're there to help them. Those other guys are working in the trenches with you. A lot of them have been, probably criticized by many architects. Don't do that. You work together with those guys, respect them. They have a wealth of knowledge. I usually ask my guys when we're going through the design packet, right before we start getting into the design of it, I sit down with them and I talk to them about what are we going to do here. I mean, the client, these are the client's needs. What are we going to do? Walk me through what you're proposing on doing. If you don't understand what your engineer's doing, and I was told this early on in my career, and I'm sharing it with you guys. It's all, again, it goes back to my perspective, my experience, what I've encountered. And I want to share with you guys my side of the coin, my experience, what I can share with you guys, and there's a lot of people out there that they can give you their opinion, which is fine. They have their own opinion. Everybody's entitled to their own opinion. We'll have your engineers walk you through that. Electrical, tell them what you want, tell them what you're looking for. Call your lighting consultant. And I know some of you guys may be working in smaller firms. You guys may not have a lighting consultant. Call your local lighting rep. He'd be more than willing to sit down with you and come up with some great ideas. Go to trade shows. A lot of you students can have memberships with a lot of organizations, and you can go to these trade shows sometimes for free if you're a student. I think you guys can hold your ID after you graduate from college for a couple of years. You can use that ID for all sorts of stuff. Learn about cost estimating software, management software, tracking time. Get with your general contractors. Understand the ins and outs. Understand what their biggest heartburns are with architects. You're working with these contractors, and know what understand what their needs are. Go talk to your local code official. Go. You can go to the city, you can go to the county. Yeah, okay, all right, I get it. It's like, is it a pain in the butt to go do it? Yes, of course it is a pain in the butt to go do it. Is it going to help you? Of course it's going to help you in the long run. Anyways, that kind of sums up a little bit of what I wanted to talk to you guys about this episode. We'll talk more in depth. Time management, scheduling, documents that I use to help me prepare when I want drawings from the consultants prior to submitting to the client, QC processes, how to go about doing it, and things of that sort. If you guys subscribe and you guys put comments below asking questions, I may be able to kind of do a better. I'll be a better resource for you guys if you guys ask questions. So again, subscribe, give me a like or a dislike. You're not sure if you want to hear more about this kind of stuff. This is the kind of stuff that those guys, those other internet YouTubers, they're not telling you. They're going to tell you all the pretty stuff. They're going to show you all the beautiful designs. I'm going to tell you the stuff that nobody wants to tell you. I'm going to tell you the stuff that the ugly side of architecture. I'm going to try to keep you guys out of harm's way by making sure that you guys at least have the tools. You get to choose. You get to either get better at them, or just sit in the background. Just keep drafting. Don't get licensed. Let somebody else make all the decisions. Let somebody else make all the money. Again, if you're thinking you're thinking, oh man, I'm not an architect. You're wrong. I remember sitting there for years telling myself, oh, I just need to prepare myself. It's going to take me some years to acquire the knowledge. But when I sat there one day, it just hit me. It struck me. I saw this architect. He was chewing his fingernails. He was writing this email or this letter. And I thought to myself, this guy doesn't know any more than I do. He may know a certain amount of knowledge that he's acquired throughout the years, but he is as clueless as the next guy. If he can wing it, so can you. So that's what I told myself. If he can wing it, I can wing it too. So, you know what? If someone's gonna believe in you, I'll be the one believing in you. You guys just hold on tight, and we'll do our best. All right, and stay tuned for next upload, and hopefully I can share some more knowledge with you guys. I'll try to prepare some documents to share with you guys, and see you guys next time.